Good evening, greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP, greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Badhundash. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is Social and IS Certified International Educational and Training Institute. In last 3 years, we already served 35 billion plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organization. Institute of Global Professional is an education institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective in case one skill just backward in formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate profession generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, internationally to student job seeker, job holder, and also for learner, the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminar courses, award, quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivational letter, and wall knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game, website free course, convert sites, and many more. We help empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for you, author learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kind of youth and promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learner represent more diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. The support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. The support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 2034 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 2034 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched a new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account logged in, you cannot enjoy our service. So create an account from us with profile information. Note that with profile information, you'll enjoy a feature. With mismatched data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace slide. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time-honored because after the session, we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you're an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you're a host of IGP, you can download a certificate of gratitude. If you're an online life quiz competition winner, you can download a certificate of participation. If you're selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participated in an award function on its combined support with IGP, you can download that also. You can easily prepare and download 18 types of certificate from our website in a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influence in the Pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities in the Pandemic, Certificate of IGP and IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2020, Certificate 2021 and 2022, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching with a Foreign Language and Sciences, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement Tools, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4, The New Trend in Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, Upskill Social Leadership and Management Skills, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research Comprehension Approach, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching Special Program in the Arts, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Student Teaching Mathematics, Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1,000+ international level quiz with verified certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, gamification tools for teacher. You can join IGP Alumni. You can check out our previous premium services website for free and many more. Dear IGP well-wisher, we promised previously, but lack of technical problem will late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous credential. We solved all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your dashboard for all webinar details. It's a cordial request to check our button and pages on our website. She will like and say you'll be benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or login, you cannot enjoy our services. At present, we are going to start 2035 webinars, whose name is Critical Thinking. And today our speaker name is Dr. Samia Ismail Sheikh. She is from Palestine. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, ma'am, I'll share a little bit about her. Manager in Ministry of Education and Higher Education, Palestine. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker in IGP. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. Will you please share my presentation? I sent it to you 1 hour before. Okay, Miss? And you are going to pass the slides for me. Oh?
If I receive your presentation, then I will share.
I sent it 1 hour before. Will you please share it for me?
I didn't receive it yet, ma'am. If I receive, I will share it.
I sent it to you. You will find it on the WhatsApp.
No,
Okay.
sir, actually, I send it to our WhatsApp team. If they will forward me, I will play it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Then one more time, good afternoon, good evening, good morning for everybody, or for our knowledge seekers, dear knowledge seekers everywhere. I'd like to welcome you today. First of all, I want you to pray for my family and people in Gaza to get their freedom and return to their homes and houses, getting rare rights from the barbaric Israeli attack. May Allah have mercy upon martyrs and cure the injuries and deliver them in His paradise. My lecture today is about critical thinking. I'm Dr. Shamis Kek. I'm a manager in the Ministry of Education and Higher Education in Palestine. Critical thinking isn't about being constantly negative or critical of everything. It's about objectivity and having an open, inquisitive mind. To think critically is to analyze issues based on hard evidence as opposed to personal opinions, biases, etc. In order to build a thorough understanding of what's really going on. And from this place of thorough understanding, you can make better decisions and solve problems more effectively. To put it another way, critical thinking means arriving at your own carefully considered conclusions instead of taking information at fact value or at face value. What is critical thinking? We are going to identify critical thinking. It is the ability to effectively analyze information and form a judgment. Another definition is that critical thinking is the ability to interpret, evaluate, and analyze facts and information that are available to form a judgment or to decide if something is right or wrong. More than just being curious about the world around you, critical thinkers make connections, logical ideas to see the bigger picture. Building your critical thinking skills means being able to advocate your ideas and opinions, present them in a logical fashion, and make decisions for improvement. Why is critical thinking important? Critical thinking is useful in many areas of your life, including your career. It makes you a well-rounded individual, one who has looked at all of their options and possible solutions before making a choice. According to some people, having critical thinking skills is important because they are universal, crucial for the economy, essential for improving language and presentation skills, very helpful in promoting creativity, important for self-reflection, the basis of science and democracy. Critical thinking is the basis of science and democracy. How to develop critical thinking skills? You can develop critical thinking skills every day if you approach problems in a logical manner. Here are a few ways you can start your path to improvement. First of all, ask questions. You are going to ask questions to be inquisitive about everything, maintain a neutral perspective, and develop a natural curiosity so you can ask questions that develop your understanding of the situation or task at hand. The more details, facts, and information you have, the better informed you are to make decisions. Number two, or the second point, is to practice active listening. Utilize active listening techniques, which are founded in empathy, to really listen to what the other person is saying. Critical thinking, in part, is the cognitive process of reading the situation, the words coming out of their mouth, their body language, their reactions to your own words. Then you might paraphrase to clarify what they are saying. So both of you agree you are on the same page. The third point is to develop your logic and reasoning. This is perhaps a more abstract task that requires practice and long-term development. However, think of a school teacher assessing the classroom to determine how to energize the lesson. There is options such as playing a game, watching a video, or challenging the students with a reward system. Using logic, you might decide that the reward system will take up too much time and is not an immediate. It's not an immediate fix. A video is not exactly relevant at this time, so the teacher decides to play a simple word association game. It will be more suitable. Scenarios like this happen every day. So next time you can be more aware of what you will work and what won't. Over time, developing your logic and reasoning will strengthen your critical thinking skills. How to build critical thinking skills for better decision making. If you want to make a better decision making, then you have to build critical thinking skills. How to do that? Critical thinking is a skill that you can build by following these 7 steps. I'm going to tell you about 7 steps. If you follow them, you will make or you will build a critical thinking skills for better decision making. Critical thinking is a skill that you can build by following these 7 steps, the following steps. The 7 steps to critical thinking help you ensure you are approaching a problem from the right angle, considering every alternative and coming to an unbiased conclusion. First things first, when to use the 7 step critical thinking process. When can I use the 7 step critical thinking process? Here's a lot that goes into the full critical thinking process, and not every decision needs to be this thought out. Sometimes it's enough to put aside bias and approach a process logically. In other words, more complex cases, the best way to identify the ideal outcome is to go through the entire critical thinking process. The 7 step critical thinking process is useful for complex decisions in areas you are less familiar with. Alternatively, the 7 critical thinking steps can help you look at a problem you are familiar with from a different angle without any bias. If you need to make a less complex decision, consider another problem solving strategy instead. Decision matrix are a great way to identify the best option between different choices. Um, Number 1, or the first step from the 7 steps, which I told you to make a better decision making or maker, to be a better decision maker. First of all, identify the problem. You are going to identify the problem to know what is the problem. Before you put these critical thinking skills to work, you first need to identify the problem you are solving. This step includes taking a look at the problem from a few different perspectives and asking questions like, what's happening? Why is it happening? Or why is this happening? What assumptions am I making? At first glance, how do I think we can solve this problem? These questions are very important to identify the problem. A big part of developing your critical thinking skills is learning how to come to unbiased conclusions. In order to do that, you first need to acknowledge the biases that you currently have. Does someone on your team think they know the answer? Are you making assumptions that aren't necessarily true? Identifying these details helps you later on in the process. These are other questions when you are going to ask yourself to identify the problem. The second step is research. At this point, you likely have a general idea of the problem. But in order to come up with the best solution, you need to dig deeper, more and more, deeper, more and more. During the research process, collect information relating to the problem, including data, statistics, historical project information, team input, and more. Make sure you gather information from a variety of sources, not from just one source, but from a variety of sources, especially if those sources go against your personal ideas about what the problem is or how to solve it. Gathering varied information is essential for your ability to apply the critical thinking process. If you don't get enough information, your ability to make a final decision will be skewed, will be in vain, will be useless. Remember that your critical thinking is about helping you identify the objective best conclusion. You aren't going to, or you are not going to with your gut. You are doing research to find the best option. The third step is to determine data relevance. To determine the data relevance. Okay, just as it's important to gather a variety of information, it is also important to determine how relevant the different information sources are. After all, just because there is data doesn't mean it is or it's relevant. Once you have gathered all of the information, sift through the noise and identify what information is relevant and what information isn't. Synthesizing all of this information and establishing significance helps you weigh different data sources and come to the best conclusion later on the critical thinking process. To determine data relevance, ask yourself, how reliable is this information? How significant is this information? Is this information outdated? Is it specialized in a specific field? These are questions you are going to ask yourself if you come to a conclusion, the best conclusion. The first step from the 7 steps is one, ask questions. You are going to ask questions. One of the most useful parts of the critical thinking process is coming to a decision without bias, not to be biased. In order to do so, you need to take a step back from the process and challenge the assumptions you are making. We all have bias, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Unconscious biases, also known as cognitive biases, often serve as mental shortcuts to simplify problem solving and aid decision making. But even when biases aren't inherently bad, you must be aware of your biases in order to put them aside when necessary. Before coming to a solution, ask yourself. If in every step you are going to ask yourself some questions. Before coming to a solution, you are going to ask yourself, first of all, am I making any assumptions about this information? Are there additional variables I haven't considered? Have I evaluated the information from everybody's perspective? And the last question is, are there any viewpoints I missed? You are going to ask yourself these questions to make or to clarify your problem. In the fifth step, you are going to identify the best solution. You gather the data, you make it, you analyze the data, you took the most important information, and you put aside the weak ones, or the ones that you will not or you won't use, or they are not important. Then you are going to identify the best solution. Finally, you are ready to come to a conclusion. To identify the best solution, draw connections between causes and effects. There are some causes and there will be some effects. You are going to connect between each of them. Use the facts you have gathered to evaluate the most objective conclusion. Then keep in mind that there may be more than one solution. Often the problems you are facing are complex and intricate. The critical thinking process doesn't necessarily lead to a cut and dry solution. Instead, the process helps you understand the different variables at play so you can make an informed decision. In the sixth step, you are going to present your solution. You find the solution, and there are so many solutions, but there will be there will be a best solution. Then you are going to present your solution. Communication is a key skill for critical thinkers. It isn't enough to think for yourself. You also need to share your conclusion with other project stakeholders or your colleagues or with the employees or the local society which you can share your ideas with them or your conclusion with them. If there are multiple solutions, present them all. If you have so many or multiple solutions, you are going to present all of them for your stakeholders. There may be a case where you implement one solution, then test to see if it works before implementing another solution to, uh, to choose or to elicit the best solution. The last step from our steps is to analyze your decision. The 7-step critical thinking process yields a result, and you then need to put that solution into place. After you have implemented your decision, evaluate whether or not it was effective. Did it solve the initial problem? What lessons, whether positive or negative, can you learn from this experience to improve your critical thinking for next time? And here I will show to you, or I will present to you an example of critical thinking in the workplace. If you are in your workplace, I'm going to give you an example how to implement critical thinking. Imagine that you are working in user experience design, X for example, or Z. Your team is focused on pricing and packaging and ensuring customers have a clear understanding of the different services your company offers. Here, for example, you will imagine that you are a user experience or you work in a user experience design and your team is focused on pricing and packaging and ensuring customers have a clear understanding of the different services your company offers. Here's how to apply the critical thinking process in the workplace in 7 steps. We're going to implement the 7 critical thinking process. First of all, you are going to start how by identifying the problem. As we said before, your current pricing page isn't performing as well as you want. You have heard from customers that your services aren't clear and that the page doesn't answer the questions that they have. This page is really important for your company since it's where your customers sign up for your service. You and your team have a few theories about why your current page isn't performing well, but you decide to apply the critical thinking process to ensure you come to the best decision for the page. This is if you have a company and you have a pricing page and you find that it doesn't perform as well as you want. Even if you are a teacher if you are a head teacher in a school, you are going to follow for example, your Facebook page, and you will find what this page present to the customers. Let us complete our example about the company. This is the first step, then, to identify the problem. The second step is to gather information about how the problem started. Part of identifying the problem includes understanding how the problem started. The pricing and packaging page is important, so when your team initially designed the page, they certainly put a lot of thought into it. Before you begin increasing how to improve the page, ask yourself, we're going now to improve the page, but before that, we're going to ask ourselves many questions. The first is, why did you design the price page the way you did? The second question is, which stakeholders need to be involved in the decision-making process? And the third question is, Where are users getting stuck on the page? And the last one is, are any features currently working? These questions you have to ask yourself them. Then you research. The third step, as we said, is research. You are going to ask yourself. In addition to understanding the history of the pricing and packaging page, it's important to understand what works well. Part of this research means taking a look at what your competitors' pricing pages look like. You are going to ask yourself, how have your competitors set up to their pricing pages? Then you are going to ask yourself, are there many pricing page best practices? Then, how does a color positioning and animation impact navigation? And the last question will be, are there any standard page layouts customers expect to see? These questions you are going to research to find answers for them and ask yourself. The next step will be organize and analyze information. You have gathered all of the information you need. Now you need to organize and analyze it. What trends, if any, you are noticing? Is there any particularly relevant or important information that you have to consider? This is a very important step. Then you are going to ask yourself open-ended questions to reduce bias. In this case of critical thinking, it's important to address and set bias aside as much as possible. You are going to ask yourself in each step, you are going to ask yourself many questions. The first question here, when you are going to ask open-ended questions to reduce bias, what assumptions am I making? Is there anything I'm missing? Have I connected with the right stakeholders? Are there any other viewpoints I should consider? And we said these questions previously when we present the 7 steps. Then you are going to determine the next step. You are going to determine the best solution for your team. Have all of the information you need to design the best pricing page, depending on the complexity of the design. You may want to design a few options to present to a small group of customers, or A or B tests on the live website. Then present your solutions to stakeholders. After you chose you found the solutions, you may have more than one solution. After getting these solutions, you are going to present in the next step, you are going to present these solutions to your stakeholders. Critical thinking can help you in every element of your life, but in the workplace, you must also involve key project stakeholders. Stakeholders help you determine next steps, like whether you will A or B tests in the page first. Depending on the complexity of the issue, consider hosting a meeting or sharing a status report to get everyone on the same page. Then you are going to analyze the results. No process is complete without evaluating the results. Once the new page has been live for some time, evaluate whether it did better than the previous page or not. What worked? What didn't? This also helps you make better critical decisions later on. Evaluation is very important for you. Then critically successful. Critical thinking takes time to build, but with effort and patience, you can apply an unbiased analytical mind to any situation. Critical thinking makes up one of many soft skills that makes you an effective team member, manager, and worker. If you are looking at to hone your skills further, you are going to read more and more about critical thinking. I chose here top 8 critical thinking skills. In fact, on many websites, on many books, there are so many soft skills or top critical thinking skills. But here I chose just 8 top critical thinking skills. Like most soft skills, critical thinking isn't something you can take a class to learn. Rather, this skill consists of a variety of interpersonal and analytical skills. Developing critical thinking is more about learning to embrace open mindedness and bringing analytical thinking to your problem framing process. In no particular order, the 8 most important critical thinking skills are: all of the following 8 skills are very important, and it doesn't matter if one um, comes before the other. The first skill, or the first top skill of analytical thinking is, first of all, or critical thinking, the first is analytical thinking. Part of the critical thinking is evaluating data from multiple sources in order to come to the best conclusions. Analytical thinking allows people to reject bias and strive to gather and consume information to come to the best conclusion. Then open-mindedness. Open-mindedness, this critical thinking skill, this is the second skill of the 8 top critical thinking skills. Open-mindedness, this critical thinking skill helps you analyze and process information to come to an unbiased conclusion. Part of the critical thinking process is letting your personal biases go and coming to a conclusion based on all of the information. The third skill is problem solving, and this is very important, and it also connects with the creative thinking, problem solving, because critical thinking emphasizes coming to the best conclusion based on all of the available information. It's a key part of problem solving. When used correctly, critical thinking helps you solve any problem, from a workplace challenge to difficulties in everyday life. The fourth skill is self-regulation. Self-regulation refers to the ability to regulate your thoughts and set aside any personal biases to come to the best conclusion. In order to be an effective critical thinking, you need to question the information you have and the decisions you favor. Only then you can you come to the best conclusion. And the fifth top skill, critical thinking skill, is observation. Observation skills help critical thinkers look for things beyond face value. To be a critical thinker, you need to embrace multiple points of view, and you can use observation skills to identify potential problems. The sixth skill is not all data is interpretation. Not all data is made equal, and critical thinkers know this. In addition to gathering information, it's important to evaluate which information is important and relevant to your situation. That way, you can draw the best conclusions from the data you have collected. The seventh skill is evaluation. When you attempt to answer a hard question, there is rarely an obvious answer. Even though critical thinking emphasizes putting your biases aside, you need to be able to confidently make a decision based on the data you have available. And the last skill from the 10 or the top 10 critical thinking skills is communication. Once a decision have been made, you have need to share this decision with other stakeholders. As we said before, effective workplace communication includes presenting evidence and supporting your conclusion, especially if there are a variety of different possible solutions. To conclude what we said, in reality, critical thinking doesn't come naturally to a lot of us. In order to do it, well, you need to remain open minded and inquisitive rather than relying on assumptions or jumping to conclusions. Then ask questions and dig deep rather than accepting information at face value. Then keep your own biases and perceptions in check to stay as objective as possible. Then then you are going to rely on your emotional intelligence to fill in the blanks and gain a more well-rounded understanding of a situation. Critical thinking is well critical. By building these skills, you improve your ability to analyze information and come to the best decision possible. In my lecture, I covered the basics of critical thinking as well as the 7 steps you can use to implement the full critical thinking process. Critical thinking comes also from asking the right questions to come to the best conclusion possible. Strong critical thinkers analyze information from a variety of viewpoints in order to identify the best course of action. Then, don't worry if you don't think you have strong critical thinking abilities. In this or here, I suppose to help you build a foundation for critical thinking so you can absorb, analyze, and make informed decisions. So critical thinking isn't just being intelligent and or analytical. In many ways, it requires you to step outside of yourself, let go of your own preconceived notions, and approach a problem or situation with curiosity and fairness. It's a challenge, but it's well worth it. Critical thinking skills will help you connect ideas, make reasonable decisions, and solve complex problems. That's all for my lecture today. Thank you very much for your good listening. I'm waiting for your questions and hope to see you next month, inshallah. Thank you very much. Well, miss, I've finished. Oh, I'm waiting for your questions. Miss, I have finished. Hello?
Thank you so
Yes?
much for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Welcome back, ma'am. Welcome back to our participant. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. think after a wonderful presentation, our participant can understand the topic very clearly. That's why no questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new day. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you very much. Shall I leave?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
A
IGP
good day.
knowledge the webinar certification process is the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certification process. Visit www.edioigp.com. Please make sure you presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, move to the next with the learning test passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed, retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure again. Visit www.edioigp.com. Please make sure you presence on our website. Find the learning session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, move to the next with the learning test passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to certificate. If failed, retake the quiz. Download the certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. We change the few process for online quiz competition. Note that after life, no one can participate. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Visit www.edioigp.com and sign up or sign in. Without this, you cannot join live quiz competition anymore. Browse the live quiz button or given link. Find the session name and join with your logged website or user account. Click join and wait for a few minutes for others to join. Enjoy an online live quiz competition. After the quiz, we will issue certificate for top 10. As previously featured, you can find on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. With 21 people, we are going to start our quiz session right now. First question is general critical thinking includes. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 94% people are right here. Second question is critical thinking question. Option 1 6, option 2 4. Option 1 is the right answer. 83% people are right here. Next question is critical thinking question. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 33% people are right here. Next question is what is critical thinking? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 3 is the right answer. 32% people are right here. Next question is what is critical thinking? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 89% people are right here. Next question is student can improve critical thinking skill by reducing their dependence on technology. Option 1 good, option 2 poor. Option 1 is the right answer. 61% people are right here. Next question is critical thinking is not. Option 1 the ability to reason. Option 2 to think dependently. Option 2 is the right answer. 89% people are right here. Our 8th question is critical thinking is true. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Second last question of the session is critical thinking means is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 74% people are right here. Last and final question of the session is all jobs involve some level of critical thinking and problem solving. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Congratulations to our online quiz competition. We are top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition. We are top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy, stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to go to people like Think Albert Einstein. Before I start, hit the another button. Again, thank you so much. Active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.